What's going on, folks? NottiMoto here, your number one for all things moto. Today we have in front of me SHOEI's RF1400, the brand new release and the big brother to the RF1200. Today we're going to be going over its specs, we're going to take a little bit a look at its performance, and then of course, as always, we're going to review the lid with a Notti No or a Notti Go seal of approval. Y'all stay with me, guys. This is a good one. Now folks, if you are a beginner or newer rider, this still is going to be a great choice for you. Now this doesn't come in at an entry-level price, but it gives you a standard of safety and performance that we all are requiring and we all want as riders. So if you've got to save up for a month or two, whatever the case is, absolutely do what you need to do to get your hands on SHOEI's brand new RF1400. Guys, are you a track rider? If you are, this is the lid for you. It comes stock with a brand new Snell M2020 rating. Now, in some tracks, they still are accepting the Snell 2015 rating. So if you have an RF1200 and you're waiting to move to the 1400, you might be able to get away with a weekend track ride coming up into the future, but don't count on being able to utilize that RF1200 for much longer because that 2020 Snell rating, again, has been released and tracks are taking note of it. Now folks, SHOEI has always been synonymous with quality. That is due to the shell design. The composites that are involved give an elevated level of safety that kind of elevates SHOEI's brand value up to a certain tier where we kind of need motorcycle gear to be. The cost of materials is really what is driving the price of helmets straight up. Thermoplastic polycarbonate is very cheap. Fiberglass, a little bit more expensive, but not as expensive as some of these fiberglass, Kevlar, carbon fiber, amalgamation composites as we have here with SHOEI. With that being said, I want to introduce you to SHOEI's Aramid Integrated Matrix Plus shell, the AIM Plus shell. That is this guy right here. It is a, first and foremost, fiberglass shell with additional reinforcements. You have organic fibers, you have Kevlar, you have carbon fiber, and other fibers that SHOEI has deemed structurally competent for a helmet shell composite. With the AIM Plus shell, the Aramid Integrated Matrix Plus shell for 2020 and 2021, we know that SHOEI has its own wind tunnel, and they do really nice, really thorough wind tunnel testing. This shell here, as a matter of fact, if we pin it up against its predecessor, the RF1200, you actually have a reduction in drag of 4%. That's from front to back, and then you have a reduction in lift of 6%. That is from bottom to up, meaning you have less drag pushing your head back as that wind interacts with the force of the front of the helmet, and then you also have less lift. What that means is when you're riding, you don't feel an upward force on that helmet. Again, it's nice and solid on rails, staying on the top of your head. It doesn't want to egress up, and it doesn't want to make contact with your chin at kind of extreme speeds. Now SHOEI did include a standard ventilation package. We've got two at the crown, one at the brow, and then of course one at the chin. Now one thing I did want to talk about, these are again very standard up front. You've got a couple positions on these guys, but let's take a look at the rear of the helmet. Now if we remember, if you have one now or you previously had one, the RF1200, this predecessor here, had an active exhaust ventilation switch. Now that's really nice if you want to button your helmet up completely. If it's cold, some fall riding, you're doing a nice Halloween ride, a little Thanksgiving ride, Christmas Eve Bernies, whatever the case is, you want to be able to shut your helmet entirely to stop that cold creep airflow. So one thing that SHOEI did was remove that for us riders. I'm not sure why, but I didn't notice the need for it in a quick ride just last week. So let's take a look at the ventilation up at the top. You have a triple position switch that's going to be full close to full open with a half in between. The same thing for the brow switch, full open, half, and then let's button that guy on up, and a really nice large switch down at the bottom. Now take a look at what's right next to that switch. SHOEI's locking mechanism for the face shield. Really nice integrated color of whatever helmet you have. You're going to get a matching plastic piece there that lock is. Give that a quick press and your shield's gonna pop right up. And since we're right here within shields, let's talk about it a little bit. SHOEI did something really nice. What are these really nice features right here on the side? Those are airfoils. Now, why is that a necessity? Why do we have airfoiling, something that's coming directly from aeronautics, on our helmet? I'll tell you why. In a speed scenario, in any sort of movement scenario, wind is racing across the front, side, anywhere of this helmet here. Now, when wind travels over a surface, it tends to get a little sticky towards the surface. That's why we have a nice gloss finish. That's why aircraft are usually buffed and glossy. It just decreases drag. On the side here, guess where our ears are located? Right there, right by that airfoiling. What that actually does is smooth up that turbulent air, allowing it to pass directly from the shield right to the back of the helmet and along down the road without creating massive amounts of wind noise. It actually does reduce wind noise. And that, tuned with SHOEI's brand new aerodynamical wind tunnel tested shell, we are seeing a dramatic reduction in wind noise coming from SHOEI in the RF1400. Folks, what do we see here on the side of the helmet? A very aggressive design line. What exactly is that? First and foremost, it is a shave in weight. Weight reduction, brother. We've removed actual composite of the helmet in the order of grams and ounces. It does help when that helmet is on top of your head for extended periods of time. So really great to see. That is coming from the RF1200. You'll notice that it does retain that design there on the side. But most importantly, they've added EPS foam in that indentation, where previously in the RF1200 we had an actual lack of material. There was nothing there. With the 1400, they've filled that void with EPS foam. Now what does that do for you? Just think about it real quick. Now folks, if I pick this helmet up and I kind of demonstrate what I mean by that, if I were to put some sort of force on my head, making it move left to right in that manner, this cutout here with this EPS foam is actually designed to give me some sort of collarbone support. Make sure that I don't interact with this very hard shell composite and possibly damage my body. Real quick, I did want to talk about the shield again. We have a brand new and improved shield mechanism. We all know what this primarily does is, again, pull that shield nice and tight up against your gaskets, making a wind-tight and watertight seal. And also, again, to facilitate an easy on and easy off installation or deinstallation of your face shield. Sticking alongside with SHOEI's kind of luxury, top-tier branding and all of that in mind, of course they include a Pinlock-ready face shield with the Pinlock in the box. Now folks, while I have this helmet turned upside down, I did want to talk about one thing, and that is shell thickness. We have the exact same shell thickness across the entire helmet, which is going to ensure maximum crash performance throughout all areas. Next, we're moving along to the inside of the helmet. You'll notice I got the lid turned upside down for you. What's the first thing that's popping out? I would probably say this massive EPS layer at the back, making a rear impact performing lid indefinitely. We can automatically see that. Again, these cheek pads seem like they have a slight redesign in terms of material at the base here. We have our emergency pull tabs for the EMTs. I did previously install the chin skirt. We can take that out at any time. It's a very quick and easy removal. Now, what I want to show you real quick is how easy SHOEI makes this to facilitate a pad change. So check this out. We'll start with a comfort liner at the top. Just give it a quick tug. You've got 2 snaps right here at the rear. Let's not worry about the front quite yet. Let's get a cheek pad out. These guys are a little difficult. Be careful because you do have that new SHOEI design with that added EPS layer. But again, it's all pretty much just the same style and the same type of process. Very quick, very easy. Again, you can see where the emergency EMT pull tab is. We've got that redesign of plastic retention device on the cheek pad here, which seems to be very robust. I do like that, and I like that they've actually made it red because they've previously been black. Little pro tip for you, this is what I always do when I'm installing a Bluetooth. Roll that top comfort liner from back to front, pull it right out of your shield, close the shield. Now you've got immediate access to the top and any sort of internals of your helmet. Really nice. Inside SHOEI's RF1400, you will find a dual layered multi-density EPS foam, which is very nice. Some of the literature will tell you it's a dual density foam. That is incorrect. Dual layered multi-density impact EPS foam. So what that means to you is, unfortunately, some of the literature will tell you that it has a dual density EPS layer handling, I don't know, low and high speed impacts. That is incorrect. It has a dual layered multi-density EPS foam that's going to handle your low, your mid, your highs, possibly even extreme highs. SHOEI has always been painting the internals of their helmets black, keeping along with industry standards, again facilitating a really nice annual, semi-annual, biannual helmet inspection. Maintaining along with SHOEI standards, of course, their entire helmet line does include speaker cups for you that will accommodate, again, a 45mm audio driver. Really nice speaker cup covers SHOEI always includes with their lids. If you're not utilizing a Bluetooth, I definitely recommend putting this in the void, that is this speaker cup. That actually, believe it or not, cuts down on a lot of wind noise. Again, it's right over your ear. Another little pro tip for you, inside every single helmet you will find the date of manufacture, your helmet's birth date. This one here, November of 2020. Now it is a standard that helmets have about 5 years of a life expectancy. If you were to talk to a motorcycle professional maybe 5 to 10 years ago, they would tell you maybe 3 years. As helmets increase in technology, in craftsmanship, and manufacturing processes become more dialed in, we are starting to see an elevated lifespan of helmets. I wouldn't be surprised if literature starts to pop about 5 to 7 years of a life expectancy. Where life expectancy even came from to begin with, think about 20 years ago, your father's helmet. Think about replacement pads, non-existent. Think about materials, low quality. Think about how many helmets were actually available to individuals. You maybe had only a few to choose from. You wore that helmet heavy, you wore it hard, and it wore very quickly, requiring an immediate replacement. And that's the reason. SHOEI's standard for strap mechanism on a Snell rated helmet is going to always be a double D-ring retention system, which you can see right here. Really nice, standard, bare bones, but the safest option hands down. One piece that SHOEI did talk about quite heavily is their Max Dry cheek pads, which wick sweat about twice as fast as their previous version, which is really nice. I always like to see that. NottiMoto is a sweaty dude. Folks, before we move on away from the cheek pads, there is one thing that NottiMoto needs to drill home to you. That is cheek pad customization. SHOEI provides multiple millimeters of thickness of cheek pads. It is up to you as the rider or whoever's selling you the helmet to make the best decision in terms of pad thickness. If you need to take 35 mil pads out of your helmet and replace it with a 40 mil, 33 mil pad, whatever it is to facilitate the absolute best fit for you is what you should be doing. Other manufacturers like AIRFOILS focus on this extremely heavily to get the 100% best fit. You bet every single MotoGP racer has had every single pad inside that helmet 100% customized to their head shape. And that is a very, very real thing. So you can do that within SHOEI. You can also do that within AIRFOILS. And if you're not doing that already, take it from me. Now you know. Let's start the process. I'll show you where you can get these pads. Let's get this safety movement headed up. Let's get it moving, and let's start making some really nice personalization, customization notes to your RF1400 and many other helmets to come in the future. Wrapping up with everything on the inside of the lid, now we're going to talk to you about NottiMoto's performance characteristics of the RF1400. I have about 8 hours in this guy. Reason being, my head just doesn't fit into it. I have a large dome, like your boy's head is huge. First and foremost, I have a Jay Leno chin. It's massive. It comes right out of the chin bar in SHOEI's RF1400. A helmet like AGV's K1, K3, K5, Corsa, even the Pista GPR or RR is better for NottiMoto's massive anvil of a jaw. The 1400, unfortunately, I stick out like a sore thumb. It is not the most comfortable riding experience for me, but moving away from my massive chin, I was very comfortable in the lid. My ears had plenty of room. I was not left with any hot spots on my head, facilitating a really nice fit for NottiMoto at that extra large. It was quiet. It was on rails. This sucker tracks. Checking peripherals in this helmet is a breeze. The airflow travels right over this aerodynamically brand new tuned shell. Coupled with the airfoiling, you don't even notice turbulent air. It is really nice. The field of view on this visor is fantastic for quick eye checks and quick lane changes. Really like that. The tuck on the 1400, again, is a little bit more advanced. It's tuned to the advanced side. It's tuned for the sport bike rider. You can get away with an RF1400 in a cruiser with a set back standard riding position. Just drop that chin a little bit and you should be good to go. That's pretty much it. NottiMoto did have a really nice time in this helmet. Again, I wish my chin just wasn't so large, or SHOEI made just a slightly larger chin bar here on the 1400, but I'm not crying about it. I don't wear SHOEI as is, because it does seem like my massive chin does travel over into every single one of SHOEI's models. Let's talk about rotational energy management. Why does SHOEI not have anything in 2021 through their entire line to deal with the mitigation of rotational energy with such things as MIPS, the multi-directional impact protection system coming direct from Bell? You also have other manufacturers like 6D. This is the lid that Kyle Wyman is running. They have a really nice rotational energy management system in there. We have nothing from SHOEI. What is a rotational management system? Well, let's turn this helmet sideways and let's pretend that NottiMoto just entered a sort of crash scenario. At the front of my helmet, my head is actually going to move inside that helmet ever so slightly, just like that, with the helmet staying in one spot. That is what we call rotational energy. Now, manufacturers are starting to include slip planes. You remember those old roll-out sleds that you had or you may have seen in Walmart, whatever the case, very funky colors. They were plastic, very slippery material. We use a very similar plastic at the top of helmets to give us a slip plane, somewhere where our head is cradled in that slip plane. And then on the outside, you have your EPS foam. What that allows your head to do is slip inside that slip plane, managing that rotational energy. If we can slow your head down, it's all time over force. The longer we take to slow your head down, the less force you will interact with at that climactic moment. So again, that impact is going to travel through your shell into the EPS foam, hopefully a rotational management mitigation system, and then of course into your skull. As long as we can stretch out that period of time for that impact, the G's and actual forces of that crash go dramatically down over time. Again, now Ryan Fortnine has a really nice video. I'll put a link right over here for you guys if you want to check that out. It goes a little bit deeper into rotational management systems and mitigation of such, and also why that's so important to riders. So definitely check that out. I would say that's my main gripe with SHOEI in 2021, guys. We are seeing so many helmet manufacturers, from Fox to LS2 to Bell to even downhill mountain biking sports, they are including rotational management integration systems. And just SHOEI, unfortunately, is not at this time. So I would like to see that in the future coming from SHOEI, because guys, everybody else is doing this. SHOEI, if you're watching, take notes. Folks, let's wrap this up with a Naughty No or a Naughty Go seal of approval. Overarchingly, Naughty Go. At $529.99, this is the entry point, or should be the entry point for every new to beginner rider. If you're an advanced, experienced rider coming from the 1200, moving to the 1400 would be a great move for you. We've got serious safety, we've got serious manufacturing involved, craftsmanship, tried and tested shell composites, comfortability, wind noise reduction, and a Snell 2020 rating. This guy is an absolute powerhouse and a complete W, chicken dinner on the 1400, guys. SHOEI, thank you so much for giving us this fantastic 1400, the predecessor to the 1200. There are a couple things that I wish you took from the 1200, like your active exhaust switch, and a couple things that I wish we could redesign for large chin individuals like myself. This is just a very small chin bar for a 6'1", 200-pound male. Folks, thank you so much for stopping by for the review of the RF1400 with your boy, your main NottiMoto. For more information, definitely check the description below. If you've got something really nice to say or some really nice questions, please leave a comment in the comment section below. If you like this video, please like it. If you loved it, I would love for you to sub to it. If you want to see more of Naughty, check him out on my Instagram at NottiMoto and pretty much all socials. Thank you again so much for sticking by. I'm out. Folks, let's take a little bit of a stand by. What you have here, folks, is collarbone. Oh my God.
Hey, listen.
Right, check it out.
It's so cool. Oh my God.
Look at it. Who is this helmet for? No. It is, dang. Why am I so sweaty all the time? Guy, definitely check the description down below. Crap.